Y'all see the title, man. Let's get to it.
And today we're going to have a show, and I'm going to definitely take my time with this show here. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you want today's full show, be sure to check out the Dreamers Pro podcast, pinned in the comment section. We're on Spotify and iTunes. Anyway, let's get into this topic here. As you guys know, Scottie Pippen has turned himself into an absolute nuisance over the last few years with some of the things that he's been saying about Michael Jordan.
Yep.
When the Last Dance docuseries came out in 2020, we were all
a mockery of himself.
excited to see it. It was a 10-part docuseries. And this docuseries was basically meant to chronicle the 1998 Chicago Bulls run to that last year. So basically, it was talking about the key players in that story arc, and then taking it from various points in their careers and bringing it into the present day. And that present day in this case is 1998, when they were competing for their last NBA championship. So they were talking about various players, and all throughout the doc, they were covering highs and lows of various players. They did it about Michael Jordan, who was the star of the doc. They did it about Dennis Rodman, and of course, they did it about Scottie Pippen. And during one episode, I don't remember it, it was the episode where he refused to go back in the game because he was upset that Phil Jackson didn't dropped the play for him, and he refused. And then Michael Jordan said he believed that was selfish. Also, the thing about him electing to get a surgery, because he was upset with the contract that he signed. After the Chicago Bulls team owner and Michael Jordan advised him not to do it. So there was that, and Michael Jordan and these guys released it. Then the docuseries came out. The moment it came out, Scottie Pippen went on a public campaign, to basically smear Michael Jordan's name all over the internet and all over the media.
So that's when it started.
And during the first episode, or the first stop that he made was on the Dan Patrick Show, is really where he kicked things off. And it was in that show where he called Phil Jackson, his former head coach, a racist.
Oh, yeah,
and then on top of that, he said that Michael Jordan was basically a con artist who was
it all starts to come full circle, man.
Conning fans by controlling the cameras. And he wasn't real, and what was going on wasn't really what you think was going on. So what we want to do is we want to play those original comments of what Scottie Pippen had to say to Dan Patrick on the Dan Patrick Show about Phil Jackson and then Michael Jordan, and then we're going to continue on with the show. Take a listen to Scottie here.
Help me understand the GQ article where you talked about the 1994 playoff game when you refused to go back in the game and Phil set up the play for Tony Kukoc.
Well, I mean, it's not much to be said. If you go back and look at when Scottie Pippen entered the Bulls and when Tony Kukoc entered the Bulls, and who deserved the last shot of the game.
No, I understand that, Scottie. I'm just going by what you said. You said you need to read between the fine lines, and then you go on to say it was a racial move to give him, Tony Kukoc, a rise. So,
well, I mean, if you knew that Scottie Pippen had been with the Bulls from '87, battled through the Pistons and every other team that we had to get to the.
I'm saying, I feel you, Scottie. I feel you. Like you're the leader of the team. You're the next best candidate. You feel like, you feel like you put in the work you deserve to have this chance to shoot that rock. I feel you, but Phil Jackson probably knows the other team probably thinks you're gonna be that guy to take that shot since Jordan is not taking the shot. You understand? You know what I'm saying? Phil Jackson probably has that IQ to think like maybe let someone else take the final shot instead of Scottie. That's the obvious shooter. You know what I'm saying?
Those three championships. Wouldn't you give Scottie Pippen one opportunity to get a last-second shot without Michael Jordan? Like 1 year without Michael Jordan. Can I get one shot? Like, I'm doing all the dirty work.
I feel you, though, Scottie.
All of that I understand from the basketball standpoint. But when you say a racial move...
Well, why would Tony, who was a rookie, get the last-second shot and you put me out of bounds? That's what I mean, racial. Like, that was Scottie Pippen's team.
But
Scottie
Phil
Pippen
then...
was on pace.
I'm pretty sure Phil Jackson wanted Scottie Pippen on the floor at the same time, correct? There's no way he's going to bench Scottie at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Then bro said Scottie didn't want to come back in the game. So Phil probably had the plan, like I said before, bro. You know what I'm saying? Scottie as the decoy. You gonna act like you gonna take this final shot, get the Kukoc though. Knock him. Like, and he hit the joint too. It's not like he missed the joint. You know what I'm saying? Can't
to be an MVP that year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why would you put him in a position not to be successful? Why wouldn't you put him in a position to succeed? Michael Jordan is not there. So who's next in line for you?
But have you talked to Phil about this? Because by saying a racial move, then you're calling Phil a racist.
Yeah, that's definitely not the case. You know what I'm saying? Phil had no problem giving Mike the rock. You had no problem giving Mike the rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, come on, bro.
Problem with that?
Do you think Phil was or is?
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you remember Phil Jackson left the Lakers, wrote a book on Kobe Bryant, and then came back and coached him? I mean, who would do that? You name someone in professional sports that would do that.
What he say in the book? You know what I'm saying? Like, give me some concept. What he say in the book, y'all? Someone let me know in the comments. If he wasn't speaking negatively in a racial sense, then this proves nothing towards his point. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments what Phil Jackson was saying about Kobe Bryant in his book.
You know, I think he tried to expose Kobe in a way that he shouldn't have. You're the head coach, and you're the guy that sits in the locker room and tells the players, this is a circle, and everything stays within the circle, because that's what team is about. But you as the head coach, open it up, and now you go out and you try to belittle, at that time, probably one of the greatest players in the game.
Well, it feels like he's disloyal. I don't know if that makes him a racist.
Yeah, like that's
definitely
a very, very strong term for the
putting it out.
The situation.
I have my way. I was in the locker room with him. I was in practice with him. You're looking for him afar.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and look, that's why I wanted to have you on. But I go back, and Phil designed a play for Steve Kerr when Mike was there, and Mike didn't have a problem with that, did he?
I don't want to. You're not setting me up to answer the right question. What do you mean, Phil set up a play for Steve Kerr?
Come on, Scottie, stop acting like a hoe. You acting like a hoe, Scottie. Come on, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? What you mean you asking the real question? You want to ask the right question so you can really spew your hate? Like, come on, bro. Come on, Scottie. Yeah, he just presented to you a fact. You know what I'm saying? And when it's fucking with your logic. That's why you're upset. It's fucking with your logic, my boy. You know what I'm saying? You see that you look like a fucking dickhead.
See, Curry said that play for Michael Jordan.
I thought in the huddle, Mike says, I'm going to throw you the ball. You'll be open at the foul line. And Phil had nothing to do with that?
And you don't want to get this show started because it'll take us a long time. Do you know all those cameras that's sitting in that huddle who they was working for?
The NBA.
So you know who Michael was speaking to when he said that, right? That was planned. That was speaking to the camera. That wasn't.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, bro. Yeah, Mike probably knew the camera was there. Of course, bro. When you're that great, you know the cameras is rolling at all times. You know you're under a bright light at all times. You know what I'm saying? Despite the camera being there, though, it's still an iconic moment, bro. Like, come on, bro. Even if he did it, even if he said it for the camera and all that, he still completed. Like, they still accomplished it. You know what I'm saying? They still made it happen. You know, and it was great. It was greatness, bro.
Out of what we're gonna have to do, what the play is gonna be. That was speaking to the camera. Had John Stockton not came down, trust me. But that was building his own documentary because he knew he was controlling the cameras.
So you heard what Scottie Pippen had to say there. You heard what he had to say. If you were listening to that soundbite or that segment carefully, you will also hear in his voice that he was audibly upset. He was even getting annoyed with the way that Dan Patrick was asking him.
Yeah, like, come on, bro.
Let's go back into that audio for a second. I want to highlight a particular point he said. He said he thought it was disrespectful for head coach Phil Jackson to elect to go with Tony Kukoc, who he believed was a better player in that particular game scenario, over Scottie Pippen. And therefore, he refused to go back in the game, and he took that as absolute disrespect. Right?
But, like, that whole audio, Scottie said nothing that had to do with anything about race. Like, you know what I'm saying? All his examples, whatnot, he didn't say anything about race. So, from my knowledge, you know what I'm saying? But, like, Scottie took that, you know what I'm saying, that he just said that out his ass. From my knowledge.
We never really got to understand it from
that's what it's looking like.
Phil Jackson's side. Until yesterday, we produced the show. Centered on some, day for yesterday, we produced the show. Centered on some comments that Scottie Pippen made on ESPN a number of years ago when he was with Rachel Nichols, Tracy McGrady, and Paul Pierce. During this segment, they were talking about players that were good at closing out games. This same Scottie Pippen in that soundbite was saying that he never had a clutch gene. He was never a closer. Michael Jordan was always the closer, and he was robbed of his clutch gene. The Scottie Pippen that got upset with Phil Jackson for electing to go with a player that he felt was in a better position to win the game. So what we want to do is want to quickly play what Scottie Pippen had to say about his own abilities to close late games, and then we're going to continue on. Take a listen to Scottie Pippen here.
Right, I'm not afraid to say that I don't have clutch genes. I played with a guy that took all the clutch genes out of me.
Hey, we can't even argue with him on that, man.
Hey, it's all fair to say for me that I had the best clutch player ever.
Yes.
I'm all good with that.
I mean, when you are playing with a guy like that, does it change your mentality in terms of, as these guys say, they say, oh, I want the ball in that moment. When you spend so much of your career playing with Michael Jordan, do you think, okay, in that moment, I know what I'm doing. I'm passing.
Yes.
Hey.
You know what you're doing.
But listen.
And you know what? It was a relationship that me and Michael had. So it was the relationship built that I knew where I wanted the ball at the end of the game. I knew who wanted the ball at the end of the game.
I was a Pip fan. I watched Pip growing up. He wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
He had the clutch gene, and he really wanted it. What was that game in New York when they went to Kukoc?
You were real old up there.
Pip was pissed off that he didn't get that last shot.
That's what I said. Somebody took my clutch genes out of me.
I had to bring that up, Pip. But no, Pip had the clutch gene. I mean, he played with the greatest clutch player of all time.
And by the way, Michael depended on you to do certain things.
Absolutely.
And there were parts of Michael's game that he ceded to you on that court. As you said, it was a partnership.
It was, and you would never see a game where Michael would be standing watching somebody take the last shot.
Right.
That would just kill him.
So you heard what Scottie Pippen had to say. You heard that was him. That wasn't me. That was him. So yesterday, I was going through the internet, and I came across a Vlad TV interview where he sat down with NBA top 75 player Dominique Wilkins. And in this interview, they were talking about the modern NBA versus the previous NBA and a bunch of things. But then in one particular clip, they were talking about the fallout between Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And Vlad basically asked Dominique, what are your thoughts about The Last Dance, and what do you think about the way that Scottie Pippen has been going at Michael Jordan? So what we want to do is we want to play what an NBA legend, a top 75 guy, had to say about the vicious attacks and jealousy that Scottie Pippen had towards Michael Jordan. Take a listen to Dominique Wilkins.
What'd you think of The Last Dance?
Dominique Wilkins.
I never watched it. You never watched it?
Because we lived it. I knew it all.
Okay.
Yeah, we lived it. So, we competed. So it was nothing that surprised me about The Last Dance and when people were talking about it. So, we knew what Michael was. We knew what the Bulls were. They knew everybody knew who each other was. So we saw it firsthand. So we didn't, seeing it on TV didn't change our vision of what we thought.
I mean, when you look at the aftermath of that series, Scottie Pippen has been going at Jordan, saying that he didn't win any rings until, and until Scottie showed up and everything else like that. And you actually defended Jordan with these comments. I mean, when you see Scottie saying stuff like that, what do you think? As someone who played against both of them.
When I hear him saying, I'm saying to myself, what's really going on with Scottie?
Yeah.
Because anybody know basketball is like, you don't win those rings without Jordan. Yeah. Does Jordan win 6 rings without Scottie? Probably not. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you don't even get in that position without MJ. Period. I mean, anybody who knows the game would look like, and anybody who played against Mike, you know how fierce of a competitor he was. Now, they had great pieces to that Chicago team. They had a great Scottie Pippen. You had Horace Grant. You had Kukoc. You had Kerr and Paxson. You had a great nucleus on that team. So all those pieces. Rodman. And everybody accepted their role.
Nah, facts,
that was the difference. But Scottie is dealing with something else, man. I don't know what it is. I wish I could tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lawrence Pippen, Marcus Jordan thing probably doesn't help.
That doesn't help
sometimes everybody want to be the king, and everybody can't. You know, like I said, whatever issue that he got going, them two got going. I mean, it really makes no sense. You're talking about 20, 30 years removed. Come on. You got to let go of that stuff, man. Because what are you going to accomplish out of it, really? What do you get out of it?
I mean, John Sally, one of the things that he always says on my show that gets people upset, as someone who actually played on the Bulls, he said that Scottie Pippen was the most skilled player he's ever played with, not Jordan.
Scottie Pippen is probably the most skilled player I've ever played with.
Really?
Yeah. Skilled. He plays point guard, shooting guard, small forward, big forward, and center. He can guard anybody on the court. He's Dennis Rodman. Can dribble the ball, right-handed, left-handed. The fundamentals are built into his swag.
I wouldn't go this far, though, y'all. Me personally, Scottie Pippen's skills better than Michael Jordan's skills. I can't go that far, bro. I can't, I understand what he's trying to say. You know what I'm saying? But it's not, skills is not the word. Skills ain't the word for it.
When you hear him say that, what do you think?
Hey, Scottie was skilled. There's no question about that. Nobody can take Scottie's ability away from him.
I don't think
my only problem is the back. I mean, not even the back and forth, but the kind of the negative undertone that this whole thing has taken. For what? What is Scottie? What are you trying to hoping to get out of this? And but when you talk from a skill level, I don't know if too many people more skilled than Mike.
So you heard what he had to say. First thing he said was, let's not even get it twisted. Yeah, I know MJ needed you to win those championships. Yeah, I know that. But let's not get it twisted. You needed MJ more. We've even done polls about this. We recently put up a poll of over 30, where over 33,000 people voted on the poll, and the question was simply this: which of these 3 people do you think had the biggest role in the successes the Chicago Bulls had during their championship years? We had Phil Jackson, we had Michael Jordan, we had Scottie Pippen. Over 85% of the voters voted for Michael Jordan.
Come on, bro.
Scottie Pippen was damn near tied with Phil Jackson for second or third place. Everyone knows this, including Scottie Pippen, including him. But this is what jealousy does. This is what happens when you're not content with what you have and you're busy looking at what somebody else has. Jordan was going to be the star. Why you focus on MJ's star when you can focus on your own? What's all the need for the hate? Do you know how many times Scottie Pippen is flip-flopped on who's better between Michael Jordan and LeBron? Do you know how many times? In one hand, he'll say LeBron is the better player than Michael Jordan. In the next hand, he'll say Michael Jordan is the more superior player and they should never be compared. I don't understand what this comparison. Which one is it? And if you go back and listen to some of the things that Scottie Pippen had been saying about Michael Jordan.
It's not even like just a regular take. So he goes a little overboard with the take. Like bro said, they should never be compared at all. Like what? How can you go from the other side of the argument to saying they can never even be compared? You know
the Last Dance docuseries, it turns out Scottie was talking about things that pertain to when they were teammates, which raises the question, What have you been? What do you really think about MJ over these last 20 years? If you're referring to how you felt about him by calling him a selfish player, he took all the credit. If this is what you felt about him while you guys were teammates, why everywhere when I saw you guys, y'all all buddy and hugging it up and blowing kisses? Because whenever I saw you with MJ, it was all smiles, which makes me believe that Jordan never knew what Scottie truly felt about him.
So that's what Junior's pro thing. You think Scottie was holding this on the inside, you know what I'm saying, this whole time? You know what I'm saying? That's how it happened. That's usually how it happened, man. Holding all that anger, all your feelings, you know what I'm saying? That's why people need to learn how to express themselves, first of all. But, you know what I'm saying, then when you don't, it bursts out of you, you know what I'm saying? I don't know that. I don't even think that's what's really going on. I really think it's because, you know what I'm saying, he lost a child back in 2021, I believe it was. You know what I'm saying? The divorce with Laura, so she taking 50% of his retirement fund, 401k. You know what I'm saying? That's heavy. Then the Marcus Jordan and Marcus Pippen joint. It's just heavy for Scottie. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to feel for bro. And then the Last Dance joint, that's not really a big thing in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Even though I haven't seen The Last Dance, that's not really a big thing. But it probably all accumulates to anger, pain, emotion.
The big bad
Scottie
evil Michael Jordan,
it,
when Scottie Pippen was being inducted into the Hall of Fame, guess who was standing right next to him? Michael Jordan. This evil, selfish teammate who has always said, there is no way in hell I win those 6 championships without Scottie Pippen. You go pull up the audio where Scottie Pippen says, there's no way in hell I win those 6 championships without Michael Jordan, as of late. The guy's
Nah, facts, bro. Every time I hear Jordan, when they're bringing up his greatness, his championships, he always mentions Pippen. You know what I'm saying? Very quickly as well. Like, he's not hesitant to do it at all. Like, bro, come on, Scottie. This is definitely a one-way hate situation. You know what I'm saying? Or a one-way beef situation, if you want to call it that, I guess. But yeah, bro, y'all know what to do, man. Let me know how y'all felt in the comments and all that. Turn on post notifications, share the video with your peoples. Click on the last reaction over here. 93% of y'all are not subscribed, my brothers and sisters. So hit that motherfucking subscribe button. I'm out here, bro.